Have you heard? It's truck news.
No way.
Yeah, way.
The Truck Show. We're gonna show you what we know. We're gonna answer what the truck. 'Cause truck rhymes with the Truck Show. We have the lifted, we have the lowered, and everything in between. We'll talk about trucks that run on diesel, electricity, and on gasoline. The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Oh, oh.
It's the Truck Show with your host, Holman.
The Truck Show podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. AMSOIL launched the industry's first synthetic motor oil back in 1972, and AMSOIL continues to innovate with a wide selection of synthetics that are formulated, blended, and packaged right here in the United States. These specialized lubricants are engineered for what you drive and how you drive. AMSOIL's Shop by Vehicle tool offers package size recommendations to maximize savings and includes AMSOIL's Ultimate Oil Change Kits. AMSOIL offers the protection you demand and the performance you deserve. Get yours today at AMSOIL.com. The perfect complement to your truck is a Kershaw knife. All Kershaw knives come with a limited lifetime warranty, and repair parts are readily available through the website. Kershaw knives include lifetime sharpening, and the lineup has everything from EDC knives that can be used and abused for under $50, all the way up to high-end collectibles. Thanks to our generous partnership with Kershaw Knives, Truck Show podcast listeners can get 40% off MSRP and free shipping over $50 by using the code 2TSP2025. It can be used more than once and even includes automatics. Visit kershaw.kaiusa.com today. When it comes to amazing vehicle-based adventure content, how-tos, and great storytelling, only one brand is doing it right in the print magazine space, and that's OVR, Outdoor Vehicle Recreation. OVR is about getting out there in our vehicles to explore and discover the world around us. Get complimentary access for a year to the digital library or a discount on your print subscription today at OVRmag.com. Use the promotional code at Truck Show Podcast. And please remember that the Truck Show podcast survives off of sponsorships and your reviews. Please help me to keep it free by supporting our sponsors and leaving reviews and comments on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Have you heard?
No! God, please, no! No!
Well, we got some news for you guys, so let's get into it. A lot of interesting stuff out of Ford over the past week or so. And apparently Ford CEO Jim Farley is taking a Bronco on a quote-unquote fact-finding mission. And he's going to be road tripping it across the United States. If you remember a while back, Farley took a F-150 Lightning and he went from Silicon Valley to LA, took Route 66 on to Vegas, and he utilized the current charging infrastructure and learned a lot about what it was like to live with that pickup truck. So this is the third year in a row, and Farley is road tripping, I believe currently, in a Ford Bronco Badlands SUV with a Sasquatch package. And he's going to be taking across paved and also dirt roads. He's going to go over 3 days, covering remote and famous trails, and hopefully meet some enthusiasts and trail guides and all that kind of good stuff. So what a cool way, if you're the CEO, to get out of your office, explore the product, and then also meet up with your customers doing what they love in the vehicle that you make for them. So I think this is pretty cool. He's going to be providing updates along the way, so if you follow his account, I'm sure he'll have some stuff on there. So anyway, that's the first interesting thing out of Ford. But there's also something else. I think you guys remember when I went to Dakar, we were talking about the Raptor race cars, and it sounds like there is some desire for Ford because of Farley. He wants to challenge his team to do something really special, I guess. And according to Automotive News, he said, quote unquote, "Nobody's ever built a supercar for gravel, high-speed sand, and dirt. I'm thinking really deeply about it, and usually that turns into something." Farley said that he had asked his engineers to design a 1,000 horsepower partially electric off-road supercar concept, talking about Raptor and its success, and said, "These Raptor people are telling us something. They're not stupid. They're really smart people. They spent $120,000 on an 800 horsepower pickup truck." And it sounds like it might be a limited production vehicle similar to the Mustang GTD, and it would probably be several hundred of them, and that's it if Ford goes and does that. And having sat in Saudi Arabia and Dakar with the Ford team, I wouldn't be surprised if they use the Raptor race vehicles from Dakar as a blueprint for it. And what do you think? Would that be cool to have a street legal Raptor race car-ish vehicle that you could buy? I mean, obviously it would be very bespoke and for a a few amount of people, but with the Ford GT ending production, it seems like there is a place for something new and bespoke and limited in Ford stable. What do you think? Do you think that's something that would benefit Ford? Shoot me an email, truckshowpodcast@gmail.com. So this is kind of a weird one. Chrysler made a overlanding van concept, and they took a Pacifica and they lifted it. So the concept is called the Grizzly Peak, which reminds me of Disneyland or California Adventure. I think it's a cool name. So it's an all-wheel drive Pacifica. It gets a bunch of upgrades, like a 2 3/4 inch and 2.5 inch suspension lift front and rear, 31-inch BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tires, 18-inch wheels, again all-wheel drive, wrap on the lower body, and it also gets a cool badge that's like a stylized grizzly bear that looks very Chrysler Design Office, which is pretty rad. And then they also added some overlanding goodies like a rhino rack, auxiliary LED lighting, ARB awning, a bunch of things like that. And I think it kind of looks cool. I mean, they removed the third row seats and put in a cargo floor panel, so that makes sense. I don't know if you could sleep back there, but it's got the second row captain's chair, so it's like a 2+2 with the cargo in the back. And that's pretty cool. With stow and go seating, I wonder if you could hide those second row seats and then you don't need a tent. And then you have all the storage in the back as well. It's interesting. I don't know if the Pacifica is the platform I would have chosen, but it looks pretty rad on 31s and a little lift, and I could see it being a family overlander for kind of the 2 tracks, maybe out of a national park or something like that. So that's kind of a weird one, but it seems to work. So let's see where they go with it. If you guys are Dodge fans, you've probably heard of Direct Connection. And that is a line of aftermarket products that have been officially approved by Mopar. And it allows you to essentially have a factory-backed way of upgrading and customizing your vehicle with performance upgrades. And it's all done in collaboration with aftermarket companies that are top tier, trusted, high quality, all that kind of stuff. So if you own a new 1500 RHO with the Hurricane Straight 6, you may be in a select group of customers that have told Ram, love the truck, but the sound is just not sporty, aggressive, or loud enough. And so Ram, through its first ever Direct Connection accessory line, is kicking things off with 2 different MagnaFlow performance exhaust systems made specifically for the Ram 1500 RHO. And CEO Tim Kuniskis says, our customers told us they wanted more attitude from the Ram 1500 RHO, and we're here to give it to them. Performance isn't just about horsepower and torque, it's about the full sensory experience. With our MagnaFlow exhaust options, we're handing drivers the volume knob and letting them crank it to 11. That's such a funny marketing thing. So the first exhaust coming to the Ram 1500 RHO through Direct Connection are going to be the X-Mod and the Spec series. The X-Mod series is kind of crazy. So basically, you have 6 unique configurations from V-band clamps that make module swaps easy, and the swappable mid-pipes, you can get them with or without valves, allow you to further fine-tune the exhaust for as aggressive or as mellow as you want it, which sounds pretty cool. And the Spec series goes for $2,089 through Direct Connection or $1,999 directly from MagnaFlow. And the X-Mod is $3,099 through Direct Connection or $2,999 directly from MagnaFlow, which is actually pretty good for a big, long stainless exhaust like that. So MagnaFlow on their website has an exhaust clip of the different sounds that the RHO makes, which is pretty cool. And this is going to be, I'll just take you through a few of them, the most mellow to the most aggressive. So the first one is OE valve, mid pipes, and the NDT cold start. Exterior sound on takeoff. And drive-by. All right, so this next thing is going to be a cold start for the most aggressive version. The video's 6 minutes long, so if you want to hear it on your own, go to the MagnaFlow YouTube channel. This is the valve delete mid-pipes and the extreme delete. definitely a little crustier, a little more aggressive. And some of you V8 guys go, oh, that thing sounds horrible. But you 6-cylinder guys go, that thing sounds pretty good. Again, the highlight of the X-Mod version is the fact that you get modules in the box. You get 3-core modules, the Extreme Delete, so that's basically like race. Straight pipe, unmuffled setup, and that is the rowdiest. The muffler module, which is made for street, is a deeper, more refined sound, everyday driving, but still aggressive. And then the spec module with the no drone technology is that's where they do the noise cancellation and all that stuff. So anyway, pretty cool. On to the next story. I think we'll stay in Ram world. Whipple just made a brand new Gen 6 3-liter twin screw blower for the Ram 1500 e-torque, no less. And it adds, can you guess it? 180 rear wheel horsepower. And the cool thing about that is it is 50 state street legal and even comes with a carb EO. So that is pretty awesome as well. Anybody who has a 5.7, 23, and 24 Ram 1500, so this is not available for the 26 yet, along with the e-torque, which is the mild hybrid system, you can now get a Gen 6 3-liter twin screw supercharger. And this is for the GPEC5 PCM equipped RAM. So this is the newer architecture. And Whipple engineered it to integrate completely seamlessly with the e-torque setup. So you still get the benefit of the mild hybrid. It looks near factory. And even the fittings are all OEM style, quick connect and all that. So you get up to 180 extra rear wheel horsepower and over 160 pound-feet of torque at just 4,000 RPM. And they took tech from Dodge's drag pack cars, and it's got a 109 millimeter crusher inlet, all new rotor and bearing design, and a massive air-to-water intercooler. And then everything you need comes in the box. So you get the Hellcat injectors, billet fuel rails, Bosch intercooler pump, oversized dual-pass heat exchanger, a relocation bracket for the e-torque system, and you even get a HB Tuner's MPVI3 flash tool, a PCM unlock service, and a security gateway bypass. So super easy to tune. The whole system costs $9,599.99. Also comes with a 1-year warranty on all supplied parts. So kudos to Whipple for making another enthusiast product that is going to drain our wallets. Going back to Bronco, for those of you who are big Bronco fans, you were waiting for that 2025 or 2026 refresh, and you're disappointed that it did not come. Automotive News is reporting that the Bronco is going to continue to gain special editions, new variants, things like that, but no refresh. Said that the more comprehensive redesign might not happen until 2029, which could either be a 2029 or 2030 model year. And that makes it pretty different from anything else in the marketplace, except for its main competitor, the Jeep Wrangler, which also doesn't get huge updates all the time. So I think Ford is saying, well, our competition can get away with it. This thing's a classic, iconic vehicle. We can too. And if you are waiting and you said, I'm going to wait to purchase a new Bronco until the redesign, you'll be waiting a long time. So if you want a Bronco, go get a Bronco now, because they're basically going to be the same for the next 3 or 4 years if the Automotive News report is to be believed, and they're usually right on the money. So if you want a Bronco, go get yourself a Bronco. Tell your wife I said you didn't have to wait, and, well, it was okay. And in more Chevy Silverado news, the 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 is losing the popular Multiflex tailgate, which is the order code QK2 from certain versions. So you will not be able to get the 2-tiered Multiflex tailgate if you get a double cab. That's a work truck, a custom, an LT, or an RST. You can only get them on regular cab and crew cabs, which seems kind of weird. What do you think? truckshowpodcast@gmail.com. All right, one last thing before we go. Well, you know, it's that time of the podcast where we talk about recalls.
Check engine light just went on. Noise under the hood takes like a bomb. Recall covers metal, glass, leather, and plastic. Door handle pulled off in my hand. Just fantastic.
All right, Ford has placed another 355,000 F-Series trucks under their stop sale for this latest recall. Oh, boy. Ford, get out of the recall part of the news. Come on, guys. So this one's interesting because it's a defect in the instrument panel cluster, which might fail at startup. And basically because the instrument panel is digital, if it doesn't start up, it doesn't show you warning signs like, I don't know, things that are broken, check engine lights, vehicle speed, things like that are pretty important. This recall affects specific 2025 to 2026 Ford Super Duty, F-250, 350, 450, and 550 trucks produced between June 6, 2024 and July 22nd, 25, and then certain F-150 models built between May 14th, 24 and July 25th, 25. Again, number of vehicles affected, 355,656 vehicles. And the fix is an instrument panel cluster software update that can be done both by the dealer or over the air, of course, no charge. If you've got any questions, the reference number for this recall is 25S88, and I believe this brings Ford to something like 95 recalls with like over 6 million vehicles. Yeesh. Okay, well, joining Ford in the Recall Hall of Shame for this episode of the Truck Show Podcast, Have You Heard, is Ram. And Ram is recalling nearly 2,900 trucks that face a FMVSS 101 non-compliance. What does that mean? Well, approximately 2,885 units of the 26 Ram 2500 and 3500 pickups, as well as the 3500, 4500, 5500 chassis cabs. They also have an instrument panel problem, although this one is an issue that may display an incorrect brake system warning light, and an incorrect warning light may fail to alert the driver. Some heavy duties may have been built with the incorrect 3.5-inch instrument panel cluster, which displays the ISO symbol brake system warning light instead of the required brake light. All right, so here's what's affected. The 26 Ram 2500, about 2,500 of those. 3,500, about 352. 3,500 chassis cabs, 69. And 4,500, 5,500 chassis cabs, 11. These are all vehicles that were built between April 3rd and July 31st of this year. And one more to add to our recall news, and that is nearly 79,000 Jeep Wranglers recalled for the TPMS warning light issue. And that is 24 and 25 Wrangler JLs that have a antenna cable that may be pinched, but this pinched cable can actually cause the tire pressure monitoring system warning lights to fail to illuminate if there's an issue. So these vehicles do not comply with the requirement of FMVSS number 138, tire pressure monitoring system. So the suspected period of manufacturing these vehicles in a way that could pinch that antenna is from April 30th, 2023, and goes all the way until December 20th, 2024, which I'm happy about because that means my new 392 is not affected by that. Anyway, if you need information, you can call your local dealer. The campaign ID number is 56C. So let them know, and they should be able to get that rectified for you. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Truck Show Podcast. Have you heard? And please don't forget to patronize our sponsor, AMSOIL, Kershaw Knives, OVR. And if you go to truckshowpodcast.com to the featured products page, you can see all of the discounts you can get from our sponsors as well as our featured guests. So that'll do it for this episode. It's been fun. Let's do it again soon.
The Truck Show Podcast is a production of Truck Famous LLC. This podcast was created by Sean Holman and Jay Tillis, hosted by Sean Holman, and uses production elements by DJ Omar Khan and Jay Tillis. If you like what you've heard, please open your Apple Podcast or Spotify app and leave us a 5-star review. And if you're a fan, there's no better way to support the show than by sharing it and patronizing our sponsors. Some vehicles may have been harmed during the making of this podcast.